yesterday, your foreign minister said you would block the aid that the European Union wants to give to Ukraine at this particular time. And I wonder how you, a country that is, you have been invaded by Russia, you know what that is like, why you do that.
First of all, thank you very much for the possibility to have that conversation. One small additional remark. 17 years in power and 16 years in opposition. That's equally important. Anyway, on the war issue, you should know that Hungary has a very unique situation in this whole war because Ukraine is not a country far away. Ukraine is our neighbor. Second, we have minorities, ethnic minorities living in Ukraine, 200,000 something. Yes. And they are part of the war. They are conscripted as soldiers to the Ukrainian army, and they die. So we lose lives daily, Hungarian lives as well. So therefore, we consider this whole situation from a special angle. So we do not belong to the mainstream European approach. And my position was, or the position of Hungary was, the very first moment, that this war is the failure of diplomacy. It should have never happened, that war, outbreak. So looking what's going on the front line, for us it's obvious that the battlefield solution does not work. So whoever right and whoever not, you rightly describe the situation that Russia invaded Ukraine. But the question is not who invaded whom, the question is what will be the next morning. The next morning, the fact is that more and more people will die, and there is no chance to have a victory on neither side. So this is a war which just deprives many persons from lives without having results.
But surely you can't, we can all agree that the diplomacy before Ukraine was not successful, but there is a very big difference between the failure on that and the mere fact of invasion. And what intrigues me is you, as someone, it was one of the great reasons you came into politics. You made a great deal about 1956 and fighting for freedom. You have a neighbor who is invaded by Russia, the very country, you grew up with pictures of tanks going into Budapest. Why are you opposing the European aid?
No, it's emotionally. It's tragic. So we, all of our heart is with the Ukrainians. We understand how much they suffer, but I'm speaking here as a politician who should save lives. So the most important thing for the international political community is to save lives, especially when you are convinced, as I do, that there is no chance to win this war. So therefore, what we should do far more energy invest into to convince everybody that the only solution is ceasefire. And then after the ceasefire, peace talks should start. And then we could back to your point, But
do you really think there is no chance of Ukraine winning?
That's my
point. They stand very little chance of winning without the aid which you are currently blocking.
No, my position is that looking at the reality, looking at the figures, looking at the surroundings, looking at the fact that NATO is not ready to send troops, it's obvious that there is no victory for poor Ukrainians on the battlefield. That's my position. That was always my suggestion to everybody, that instead of to manage to have a stronger involvement into the war, escalation should be stopped, and we should argue in favor of peace and negotiation.